Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Laratips. In our previous video, we made component for the container over here and for this card one. And in today's video, we'll be making component for this breadcrumb. Let's get started. So if you go here in this pages, categories, create component. So here is the breadcrumb. So here in this first section, we want these categories to be link and this to be a span, because whenever we click on this, we want to go back to the categories list. So first of all, let us make that, and after that let us refactor it into a component. So let's say here inertia link, and it will have href, and here we'll have route, which will be categories.index, and we'll say here, well, let us say categories because it will be a list of categories. So let us not say only category, let's say in a plural form. And after that we'll have here span tag, which will give us the greater than symbol. So we can say and gt semicolon, and after that we'll have another span tag which will contain add category, and it will not be a link, and let us make it a little bit lighter color. And also we need some margin in between them. So let's say mx margin left and right 2 units. Now if you go here, and you can see the design looks like this, and whenever I click on here, it will take us back to this categories listing page, and whenever I click on add new, so there is this category create page. Now let us make this into its own component. So now we know that where we'll be making a components, which is inside this components folder. Let's say breadcrumbs.view, and let me initialize it. Now here let us just copy this part and paste it over here. And now let us pass these data, these categories and add category, as the array of objects, because we also need the label as well as the URL over here. So let us say items over here, which will be type of array, and required will be true. Now let us use this component here. So let's say breadcrumbs, and let us pass props items as, and now let us define this breadcrumbs at the bottom. So let us keep it as it is for now, and if we go here under the data, let us make computed properties, and here let us say breadcrumbs, and let us return an array of objects over here, which will be the label and the route. Now first one will be label, will be categories, and another will be URL, and URL will be route categories.index, and second one will be this add category, and it will not have a URL, it will only have label over here. Now let us remove this. Also, if you look here inside the breadcrumbs, so we haven't done anything dynamic over here. So if we go here in the browser, then there will be nothing changes over here. Now let us make this dynamic according to this items. So here we can wrap this within span tag, and we can loop through it. Let's say item in items, and let us also give it index over here, and in the key let us give index. Now let us keep it inside here. So if you see here, so if there is a link, then we'll give it an inertia link, and if there is no link, then we'll just give it the add category. So for now let us move this up here, and let's say here if item.url, then we'll show this, and if there is no URL, we'll say this else, and we'll only show this. And here now we'll say here item.label, and here also we'll say here item.label, and here we'll say item.url. Now we want to show this greater than symbol in every places below the last one. So let's say there are 3 elements over here, then we only want to show in between those elements, not after the last one. So now let's say here if index is less than items dot length minus 1. Okay, now if we go here in the browser and refresh the page, let's see what happens. So you can see here we are getting here categories and add category, which is coming from this props. Now if we add here another layer, let's say, and let us add the URL over here like this, we are just checking whether it's working or not. So you can see here we are getting this greater than symbol in between these elements only, and these are the clickable since they have the URL in it. So if I click here, it is taking me to the list of the categories. So now let us revert that change since we only want these 2 items in our breadcrumbs. So now if I go here in the browser, then you can see here we are only getting these 2 elements. Now let's do the same thing for here in this categories listing page over here. So now let me just copy this breadcrumbs from here and go to this index page, and here inside the computed property, let me add that breadcrumbs, but here we'll only be adding single label, which will be categories, and it will not have a link. And let us also use the component over here like this. Let's just copy it, and instead of this, let us paste the breadcrumbs over here, and let us also copy the imports from here, and let us add that over here and over here. You can see here it is showing me the categories, and if I open the console, there is no any errors. So we have done this. Now lastly, let us do it for the dashboard. So here in the dashboard, let us say here breadcrumbs, import the component from here. I know it's repetitive, but this is the last time that I'm doing it over here. Now let me copy the breadcrumbs as well and add it over here, and let us take this computed property from here and let us add it over here, and in place of add category, let us say dashboard, and let us remove this. So that's working fine. So we have now successfully made our breadcrumbs component and used it in 3 places. Now if we also look here in this profile page and the settings page, so here also we need to update. So I'll do it behind the scenes, and I would like you to also do that. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.